when we got married. I think few months or
Not even a few weeks after that.
few weeks after that. And I went to see a neurologist because the way it was getting out of hand. So went to see a neurologist. They did some few tests here and there, only for the neurologist to tell me that I have something swelling in my head, and for that reason, they have to do a surgery.
It was hard. I remember it got to a point it became so hard she couldn't eat, she couldn't do anything. She started
Walk.
She couldn't walk. She started passing out. There was a point that she was going to the emergency almost every day. You go to work, and then as soon as you get to work, you get a phone call, and sometimes 911. Your wife is not feeling well. She's been taken to the hospital. She's in the ambulance, so we need you to meet us over there. It was hard. I remember one time driving in the night. I called my friend Willie from Willie and Mike. I called him and I was just crying on the phone. I was like, bro, at this point I can't do it. I don't even know what to do.
And I remember getting off the phone. I was like, God, again, because this man he's leaving his job again to come home. I know you never promised a smooth journey, but this is beyond me. Mind you, this was gonna be, it was the third or fourth time losing a job, because the minute he walks out, he's like, I'm coming home now. That's it.
If you're watching this video and you have not subscribed to this channel, then I don't know what you're waiting for. Please subscribe to this channel, because we have mind-blowing testimonies. We've shot some amazing testimonies that we can't wait to just release it. We are releasing once a week. Hopefully, eventually, we'll be able to release 2 or 3 times in a week. So please click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell to get notified each and every time I release a new video. And also, if you're looking for a team, a media company to shoot your commercials, to shoot your weddings, to shoot your parties, or to give you some headshots for your flyers and everything, reach out to my team. That is DH Multimedia. On Instagram, you can DM us or you can give us a call, and we would take a very good care of you. Let's get into the testimony. Welcome to the Dennis Benso Show. I have 2 special guests on the podcast. They all go by the name Nana. I don't know, when you guys were getting married, was it intentional?
Okay, so my government name is different.
Oh, okay.
And hers is different.
Yeah.
But it's easier, Nana Nimo and then Adwoa. It's easier. So it wasn't that much of a deal when we were getting married. It's just that we decided for some reason we
I
tried.
think it was even easier.
It was even easier, right?
Yeah.
So you say Nana, we will all turn.
Yeah, we're all there.
You said Nana, we all turn around, so it's good.
And my daughter too is called Nana. Nana Bana.
Nana Abna.
Okay.
Nana Abna, welcome to the family.
So we have Nana Nimo and Nana Adwoa on the show. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks for having us.
So let's get into let's start from how you guys met. So how did you guys meet?
Who goes first? Okay, so I think I tell this whole story better than he does.
And I think for some weird reason, well, I guess for me and my wife, when you ask us our marriage, like how we met,
Yeah.
our stories are totally different.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say.
So you tell yours and he's gonna tell his.
Okay, cool. I think I was in Worcester, Massachusetts. That's where I completed high school,
Oh, okay.
and I decided to move to Atlanta for college and all of that. So in that moment, was where I was doing church, the church my auntie thems were going. That was the same church I happened to go to. But the week I moved here to Atlanta, they were having a program. That church was having a program. They needed a singer. Um, Mind you, my husband is back then. He was like the star here in Atlanta. Yeah, for real. Like mention Nana Nimo and everybody knows him because he sings as well. So they had a program during that week. They needed a musician. They couldn't find one. So when I came around, my auntie introduced me to the pastor. Spoke a lot about me to the pastor. The pastor was like, "Oh yeah, she should do it for us." So the entire program I was doing it, but then he happened to show up that day and he saw me singing. So that was where he asked me if I could do his a back some backup vocals for him because he was working on his album, his first album at that time. I was like, okay, cool, no problem. And that's how it started. So I was backing him wherever he goes, singing. And then it turned into,
And then we became friends. And then
and then that's what I mean.
What did she leave out?
um, I think that's pretty bad chance.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's pretty.
So how did you guys transition from backup, singing backup, and then friendship, and then to marriage?
Okay, so you want to answer that?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so I think like she said, it started from me going to the church to go sing because I had a good relation. I still have a good relationship with her pastor then. Um, Through that, we became cool. I asked her to do my backing vocals, so we ended up spending a lot of times in the studio together. So it was me, her, the engineer, that's Pastor Abel,
Yeah.
and then Reverend Yabuachi Dankwa. So it was, I think, basically four of us spending almost every weekend together, at least 8 hours in a day, Saturdays, sometimes Sundays after church, spending together. So it was a long time.
He started asking me about life, what I'm doing here, um, about school, how's everything going. So he was more into my future. Like he wanted to know what I got going on. What are you doing with life? What are you doing? Da 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 da. So I think that was one of the main thing that caught my attention. That made me like when he asked me out. That was one of the things that actually made me fall for him, kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, stop. And I'm gonna tell you his.
Okay.
Because when he's not gonna tell you the full thing.
Okay.
So that part, he saw certain things about me.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
And I was the nicest girl he ever.
So what did you see?
Yeah.
So to you, Nana Jo, how did you know that he is the one?
Okay. It's very simple. I think I mentioned earlier. He's a good looking guy, number one. Number two, one thing that catches my attention, a guy has to be on the same belief path with me. He's a Christian. He believes in the things of God. He's so passionate about the things of God, making it right and all. That was number one for me. And the fact that he was so interested in my future, it wasn't about fun. It wasn't just about us having fun, but he was more, and he was investing into my future as well. Let me tell you one not funny, but something critical he did. It was after we got married, that was when he actually explained to me why he did that. So, and I think it's something about men. Men are not talkers. it's hard for a man to really express their emotions and stuff like that. So after we married, that was when he actually told me this is the reason why I did A, B, C, and D. When we were dating, at his job place, he had two debit cards. So he makes sure one he splits the payment. One goes here, one goes there. So I had one of the debit cards. I'm like, who does that? So what am I doing with this? So to me, he was telling me that I should just hold on to the card for him because he's trying to save and all of that. I was like, oh, cool, that's fine. But not knowing, and this is him telling me after marriage, just like these were some of the reasons why he could firmly say she is the one, because not once did I touch the card.
Wow.
Not once did I ever touch the card for any personal use. Not once. So every money he had, he put that transferred on that card,
Remain. I mean,
remained on that card. Not once.
Not
It was
even $1.
nothing.
nah. I won't try it now, though. Definitely not doing it again.
But that is very interesting because we live in this day and age. Like you start dating someone and the demand for money,
Yeah.
let alone you giving the card. But
Nah, trust me. Just like you're saying, I think I didn't. Social media was still there, but wasn't popular as now. But now with the TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, everything going on, people have that need of always getting, buying, and I think it's gotten to a point where it's affecting relationships now. So you can't even go on dates without changing clothes and other stuff. At the end, it was more relaxed. We're more focused on the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it for us. His mind, it was just amazing. And I always say this. I conclude by saying God ordered my steps to this man, and I'd say the same for him, because we are just it. Like, it's just amazing because he compliments me, I compliment him
Yeah.
in so many ways. And like you said, the what you just said right now, we live in this day and age, it's as though I feel like women especially, we have less respect for themselves now, and I'm still trying to figure out why. Dating a guy and always thinking he's the one that's supposed to be taking care of me. So it's always demanding. I feel like relationship doesn't always have to be around money. No. Let's think about the future. Let's think about 10, 15, 20 years to come. When I end up in this man's life, when we get married and it's forever and ever, what am I bringing on the table? Like, how am I
Helping him get
helping him get better? And how is he also helping me get better? That's what we need to, because at the end of the day, we're gonna have kids, and our kids are gonna pick certain things from us, and it's a generational thing. So for me, yeah.
wow. So you mentioned that when you met him, he was the star of
Atlanta.
and right now he can't be found anywhere. It's like he has stepped back and you are at the forefront.
Yeah.
So how did that happen? Was it a conscious effort for you to like position her up front and you be behind the scenes, or how did that? What happened?
Phew. How did it even happen? I think number one, just like should I even say it's a conscious effort? Probably that, but there were a few things that I realized. At that time, I don't think I was the star in Atlanta. What I think is there were a lot of good musicians here, but people were not coming out. People rather saying, go out to the clubs and other stuff. But it's just that I availed myself. I think to me that's the only difference. But after we went to the after a few studio works, going to programs and other stuff, I started seeing a different side of her. I started seeing that she was because before I wasn't. She was how should I say it? She was good, but she wanted to learn every day, get better. But what I didn't have was I didn't really have people to help me get better. I gained some experience. I made some mistakes and other stuff. So she was willing to learn. We started working together. And then I realized that anytime she touches the microphone, anytime she's in front of people, anytime she zones out, her passion, everything was different. So it was either we both struggle together or one steps back for the other to move, and then whoever stays back will help the other. I believe that me stepping back was very helpful. From after considering few things, let me give you an example. So we went for a photo shoot. I paid for the photo shoot, right? Should I mention the guy's name? Nah.
No.
Nah, let me not. Okay, so he's one of the top guys. So I was supposed to do, I think, just is it 4 shoots?
Four looks. Yeah.
4 looks, and it was for $400. That's about 13, 14 years ago, right?
Yeah.
No, about 13 years ago, 12, 13. I was supposed to get 4 looks. So went to the studio. I changed my first look done, second look done, third look done, and I was like, you know what? Let's do this. You do the 4th look instead of me. She did the 4th look. The guy ended up taking her a lot of pictures. See, the thing is, I could have been jealous, right? Because that's what most men would do, but I wasn't. I was just paying attention to what was going on. The guy took a lot of pictures of her. It went beyond the time, our scheduled time, but the guy didn't care.
Yeah.
Then after the shoot, when we started going over the pictures, we realized that she has amazing shots. She had amazing shots. So I was like, okay. After the whole process, the guy edited. He was supposed to edit 4 pictures for me.
Were you guys married at the time?
No, we were not.
No.
That was during the studio days.
Yeah.
So I think he was supposed to work on 4 pictures for us.
Yeah.
3 for me, 1 for her. That's what we told her. We told the guy. He retouched 3 of my pictures. And then did about 4 or 5, 6 pictures.
6 pictures for
For her. And then the guy ended up posting it on his website together with Kev Franklin and other people that he had already shot.
Yeah.
So I saw the picture, and then I think other websites and other stuff started picking up the pictures. It's like, okay, there's just something about her. She had that star look. I didn't get jealous. So to me, the way people receive her is different. Not that I'm not accepted, not that people don't love me, but there's this look about her. There's how she carries herself. There's this grace upon her. And this is the thing too, and I'm glad I used grace. One time I had to tell somebody, it's like I had to be honest with one of our friends, and I was like, to me, I can't ever get jealous. I can enter a place with her. And then all of a sudden it'll be in Adwoa. So I was like, okay, there's just something about her. And our bishop saw her. And then our Bishop Franco for Swapia, the first thing he said was, she's the next big thing. I have to be a wise man, step back, help her, use my experience, everything that I can, and then help her get to the, because at the end of the day, it's about God's work. And then if she has the potential to reach millions of people, and my potential can only reach tens of thousands of people, I think it's only wise for me to step back, help her, add every strength, knowledge, every experience, and then back her. And then my 10,000 can add to her million, and then together it glorifies God.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that it doesn't normally happen in our society.
Yeah.
And I totally understand that, because it's work, it's hard, it's stressful. It gets to a point that people make it tough.
Yeah.
People make it tough.
Yeah.
So, yeah. When I see people drawing back, normally, I don't blame them. It's hard. Trust me, it's very hard. It's very hard. But to me, it's worth it. To me, it's worth it.
Most men become very jealous in this position. I've seen people who are really active at church. They sing, they do a lot of things at church, but immediately they get married, that talent or that zeal, that passion dies off. not because they don't want to do it, because their husband is like, no, don't go to church. Even though both of them are Christians. And even like, for example, to like, most men want their wife to prosper. They want them to do good, but don't be bigger than me.
Exactly. Up to a certain point.
Yeah. But I like how you have stepped back and you said, why don't I put my 10 to her million to push her up? And that's one of a kind. That's something beautiful. So when did you guys get married officially?
You have to remember that.
April? No. It's April 13th, 2013.
Yeah.
I'm good like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, April 13th, 2013. And it was very small. Very, very small. We did it in Ghana. Very, very small. Something little family. No wedding.
We didn't have a white wedding.
We didn't do a wedding. It was just small family gathering.
It was intentional. Because this is how I see it. Someone would say, "Oh, she's that," but to be honest, marriage is not about all that glam and stuff. It's after both families meet each other, how they relate to each other, and you guys, after that moment when you guys go home together, how you're gonna live. That's where the actual married life starts. And my focus was there more. You want to add that to it?
Yeah, I think to us it wasn't about just this big feast, people coming, eating, dancing. I think it wasn't about that. It was about just something small, intimate, and then let's save all the money, whatever we have. Let's save. Let's put it towards something that will help us in the future, and then in the future we can probably do a blessing, do whatever white thing, and which is in the pipeline. We started talking about it. We've discussed with our bishop, but
Yeah.
to us, it's just that we realized that the future was more important. Not that wedding is not important. Everybody have what works for
We
them.
had so much ahead of us, so we were strategically.
And the projects that we had to do, there were projects that we wanted to also do. So definitely,
We didn't. Yeah, we didn't.
it wasn't important. It wasn't the most important thing at the time. So to us, it was about let's just do something small, and it was a mutual thing. And thank God she understood, because most women, most probably wouldn't understand, and most men too. Yeah, and most men too, because that's the time that they have to also flex and show how much they got and show the muscles and that stuff. So I totally understand. We're different.
I think my thing is, if you have so much going on, because think about it, I'm the oldest of my other 5, 6 siblings. I have so much responsibility on my head. My husband has brothers and sisters, and they're back home. We are here in America. So my point is, we have to do our best to help others. We have to make sure we are okay, so we will be able to help the ones back home. Because you and I can attest to the fact that back home it's very tough back there. So we had all those in mind, all that thoughts in mind, and that's why we strategically had to put certain things in place, cut certain things.
Listening things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a quote that I read that says that these days we spend so much time and money preparing for the wedding, which is a day,
Yeah.
Don't prepare for marriage.
but we never prepare for marriage.
No.
We spend for time investing in the marriage, which is a lifetime. There's something I saw on social media just this week. So there's this African country. There's a man who married a journalist, and he threw a big wedding,
Okay.
went for loans to have that big feast. And afterwards, now the guy got arrested because eventually he couldn't pay back the loan. The guy got arrested and he's in jail. But the wife has moved on with another man.
See, exactly what, and it might sound crazy, might sound foolish, but the truth is, a lot of people are doing that. Because we heard stories about people taking loans to get married and other stuff. To me, I'd rather be loan free. And even if my feast, even if our ceremony, 2, 5 people,
We
to
don't.
me, that's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. It's about longevity. It's about having that peace of mind
Yeah.
after you get married.
Yes.
We don't have to sit down and then we have people knocking our door talking about, my friend, give me my money back. I need my money in the bank. Nah, we can't go through all that. So to us, thank God that we had people to help us, great leaders. Yeah, we had people around us that helped us. Yeah.
If don't live beyond your yeah, yeah. So
That's really good.
And we could have done it at that time too.
we could have.
We could have, but we chose not to. We could have.
That's really good.
And guess the many lives we've been able to
Touch, help
touch
from that, yeah.
just by making that decision.
Beautiful, beautiful. So after you guys got married, you guys have had a lot of challenges. A lot of challenges. So, and anymore, I'll let you start. Where do we start with the challenges
Challenges.
that you guys have gone through?
Oh.
What was the first thing that hit you guys?
Should I talk about head,
It started with
migraines?
Yeah.
Migraines after we found out that she was pregnant with our first son, Giovanni. You want to talk about that a little bit, or?
oh yeah. I mean, I can. Okay, so it was when I was single. Or I'll say when we were both single, we were good,
Strong, healthy,
strong, healthy, no, nothing.
no medical issue.
I think someone would sit down and say, "Oh, pregnancy comes with a lot of things, so it's probably one of those things." Da 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 da. But my kind of migraine was the type that I just couldn't. I don't switch on the lights. I was in my closet all the time. Everything got to be dark. And mind you, I was pregnant. There's been episodes where I pass out. A lot. So it all started when we got married. I think few months or
Not even a few weeks after that.
few weeks after that. And I went to see a neurologist because the way it was getting out of hand. So went to see a neurologist. They did some few tests here and there, only for the neurologist to tell me that I have something swelling in my head, and for that reason, they have to do a surgery, and before they can do the surgery, they would have to terminate the baby. Yeah, they would have to terminate the baby. Then it's, mind you, this is my first like fruit. There's nothing wrong with the pregnancy itself. It's just a migraine. But then it's like we would have to, in order for us to do the surgery, we have to terminate the baby to do that. I rejected that thing. I remember I went with a friend of ours,
Brenda.
Brenda, and she was like, she just grabbed my bag and was like, let's get out of here. I walked out of that office, never went back. So it's during that time, me going through all of that, it's been prayers upon prayers upon prayers upon prayers. We had people say things, talk. Someone would meet my husband and be like, "Yo, ya ko worry and I say I no be what told sui." Yeah. And guess what? It was right in front. We were going to church. So the president was like the very first person you see before you walk into the sanctuary. And the president told my husband that
In front of you,
in front of me,
a church member.
a church member.
How did you feel and what was your reaction?
I don't think I felt anything at the time because with what she was going through, nothing surpassed that at the time. Just imagine a young man getting married to a young lady, and then she's healthy, strong. Then all of a sudden, it started with migraine, and then we found out she's pregnant, and then I think she went for MRI, a couple other things, and then they found out that there was fluid leakage in her brain. So that was what was struggling. That was what was causing it.
Yeah, I was causing the
That was,
migraines.
so it was hard. It was hard. I think we were living in an apartment at that time.
Yeah.
And thank God for Bishop Mo and Mama Carol. They helped us through that because Mama Carol, I think, spoke about she's had migraines before. Right?
Before, so
It was hard. I remember it got to a point. It became so hard. She couldn't eat. She couldn't do anything. She started.
walk.
She couldn't walk. She started passing out. There was a point that she was going to the emergency almost every day. You go to work, and then as soon as you get to work, you get a phone call, and sometimes 911. Your wife is not feeling well. She's been taken to the hospital. She's in the ambulance, so we need you to meet us over there. Um, it was hard. I think it got to a point I think I lost the first job through that, right?
Yeah.
I lost my first job through that. Um, it was it was something hard because mind you, we didn't have a father, no mother here. It was just us two, and then few friends, and the other time one of my uncles was also here. So it was so bad that she couldn't be by herself. Somebody has to always be with her. She couldn't eat. She had rashes all over.
My hair, I was
Her-
losing my hair.
Her hair fell out. Her hair fell out. It was bad. I remember one time driving in the night. I called my friend Willie from Willie and Mike. I called him and I was just crying on the phone. I was like, bro, at this point I can't do it. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to do because going into the emergency back and forth, and then every doctor that you see is either about death or something like that. And I remember one time she went to the hospital with that was Brenda, right?
Yeah.
Went to the hospital with Brenda. So I was at work. Brenda called me and said, Nana, we're inside. I grabbed your wife. I told her that let's leave the hospital. I told her what's going on. She said, the doctor said if we don't perform an emergency surgery on her, we're gonna lose her. It's like the doctor said that. I was like, but she's pregnant. He said the doctor recommended that we take out the baby because the baby was not going to be, no matter what, it's either the baby was going to be born or was going to be born with some defects
Yeah.
stuff. So the best thing was for us to abort the baby, so that she'll be safe. If we don't do that, we're gonna lose her. And I think it was hard. It was hard.
It, just to step in,
Yeah.
it was something that when to me at that time, all I could think of was I was just thinking about him. I was like, how is this man feeling right now? Because this is not me. And it's as though like somebody's son, like you just got married to somebody's son, and look at the back and forth. I watch him take me to the hospital back and forth like I said, almost every day. And every time, me, it was just prayers. That was it for me. Nothing else, because I was like, I am not aborting this baby. This baby, I will have this baby no matter what. I don't care what you guys say. I was going through the pain, all right, but glory be to God, Dennis. I'm sitting here with 3 strong babies, no surgery, no nothing, migraines, nothing, and I'm still here. Oh, you're gonna die. Oh, you're gonna this. Oh, you're gonna that.
You didn't do the surgery.
I didn't do
So
the
yeah, she didn't do the surgery. It became prayers each day, prayers each night. So I remember even during her delivery, uh Bishop Moore and Mama Carol had to be in the labor ward for I think about 15 to 18 hours with us praying,
constantly.
constantly praying. And that was not just the first pregnancy. Even with the second pregnancy, I remember um that one it started well. Yeah,
I was
that one second pregnancy was okay. So 4 months into that, we had a guest in the house, Minister Johnson. A pastor came from Ghana. They were having a program. The man wanted me to come sing for him. So, but the man kept calling, and then together with some of his people. So, went to the bedroom, got ready. Minister Johnson got ready too. Came downstairs waiting for her, and then she was taking long. So you know me, the typical me. I don't want to be late for church. So I started screaming, "Babe, we are late. Let's go, let's go." 4 months pregnant, coming down the stairs, she slipped, and then all of a sudden, all the way from the top part of the stairs,
done.
all we heard was boom, 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 as if someone had pushed her. So, first pregnancy, we went through a lot, almost lost her by God's grace. Second pregnancy, she falls off the stairs. We had to call the ambulance. They came in, she was bleeding. That triggered the migraine again. And at this point, it was worse than before. She couldn't walk. I think she couldn't walk for a while after that. We couldn't lift her. They had to use the stretcher. It was hard. It triggered the migraine again. So even with that too, just like the first pregnancy, we didn't wait till her water broke. The first, we had to induce her because we're constantly going to the hospital. So she's never had that. Let me be home. My water breaks and then go to. We've never experienced that. So every time she has to be under the doctor's watch, and then once we see that the baby is okay, the baby can come out. We induce it, and then the baby comes out fast, so that at least she'll be okay.
Yeah.
So second pregnancy goes through the same pain just because we wanted to go minister. Third pregnancy with our daughter. I thought after the second one, two boys, I thought we were done. And then all of a sudden she said, I think I want a girl. From all the things that you've been through, you still want a girl. Because to me, I remember I had a conversation where I told her, we've been on the verge of losing you too many times. I don't want to take that risk. Because to me, I don't want anybody raising my kids, so I don't want to take that risk. So, you think it's a good idea? She said it's a good idea. Why do you want to? She said there's a particular person that I want to honor. That's why I want to give birth, but I want a girl. Okay, if you say so. If you say so. So she got pregnant, and it was a girl by God's grace. And then that too was good till I think about from 5 months. When was it? Is it the sixth month? I was at work. She called me and said, I went for my regular checkup. They said I should head to the labor or whatever.
Yeah.
Not knowing her blood pressure was all the way up, and aside that, the baby was also not growing in the fetus. The baby wasn't getting oxygen. So it's like, I told you. I felt like something was coming because to us, we felt that just because of what we do for God, our passion and how much we push for God, the devil is always trying to look for an opportunity to always step in.
Right.
And always an opportunity to strike. So we took her with that. So we took her to the hospital. I think you were there for over a week, right? They took her for over a week, and then they had to also induce her. And so our last born was a preemie.
Yeah.
It was a preemie. They had to take the baby out, and at that time too, she was also still going through the migraines again. So, the baby came out, and she was, I think, about 3 pounds or so. Very little. I couldn't even hold the baby. I couldn't hold my daughter. Yeah, I was so scared. I remember when, after they took the baby to the NICU, they put some tubes and other stuff. I never held her till she got home because it didn't feel like a human being. It didn't feel like a human being. She was tiny, and you could see her veins and everything. You could see her veins and everything. And with all this is the funny part. First pregnancy, She gave birth December 20th. 31st night, guess where she was? On the stage, singing.
Hey.
Second pregnancy, right after that, she was at church singing. Third pregnancy, the baby started leaking.
I went to church.
She went to church the Sunday. Guess what? On stage singing.
That's a different level.
That's a different level. So that I tell people this, right? Especially for people that are in ministry and are really doing something for God, the devil will always strike. The devil will always try to do something to stop what you're doing. But it's up to you to stand firm. It is up to you to keep pushing. Because the truth is, there are also a crowd of believers watching. And what they are all hoping for is for you not to drop the ball, because the moment you drop the ball, the devil will celebrate.
Yeah.
So you going through that, you winning, it's an indication that God still reigns. And it's a great testimony also to others that are going through other stuff. Because now we can sit down and talk to other people about challenges that we went through. And one of the things that I think one of the things that also helped us was we became prayerful during those times. Because I remember there was a time that I got so tired driving her to the hospital. So now I had to learn how to really pray with faith, so that anytime she's in pain, I had to learn how to pray for her and believe God for her healing at that moment. And then I started, and then she also started. And for some strange reason, it started working.
Yeah.
So if we go to the hospital, because she was getting the migraines every day, so if she will go to the hospital maybe 4 times, 5 times a week, now once the migraine starts, guess what? I'll take water or probably oil. I'll tell it to kneel or something, and then I'll pray over her. And then in a few minutes, the whole thing will go.
Yeah.
She'll be better. So out of that also birthed that faith to also pray for people, and even with her. So now with her ministry, we get a lot of testimonies from people getting healed from other things. And to her, it's easy for her because she's seen what God can do from her own experience. So it's easy for her to tell someone that's going through pain, someone going through pain, whatever, that God will do it. Come, let me pray with you. And God will do it. And most of the time she does that. Not even about, let me just say most of the time she does that, and then God answers, and then the person gets healed. So through that too has given us that faith to pray. Through that we got closer to God, because He was all that we had. Because doctors were only trying. Sometimes they'll give you this medication and then give you that and then give you this and then give you that, and then this doesn't work anymore. I remember one time I tried one of her migraine medicines. Just one. She broke it into 2. I took half of it. Oh, I almost went crazy. And we're in Columbus. I started throwing up all over the place. That's how strong it was. My body couldn't take it. But I mean, she was chugging in about 4 or 5 a day. And I was like, man, I see her going through all this pain and there's nothing I could do. So that helped me. That helped my walk with God. It made me get closer to God. It made me get closer to God, because that's all that we could do. To us, it was nothing. That's all that. And then we also kept it to ourselves, and then to very few people, Bishop Frank, Pastor Mo, the few pastors and the few family members that were closer. We kept it to ourselves. We didn't want it to be all the way out there, because we're also scared of what people might say. Because sometimes the words of
People were talking.
yeah, because sometimes the words from men can really shut everything down and can really get into your spirit, and then it will make you lose faith. So to us, it wasn't about people saying, just like nowadays everything goes on social media now. To us, it wasn't about people saying. It was, let's just stay behind, get few people involved, and then let's spend most of the time praying, and then thank God for all the friends, all the pastors, everybody that was around. Prophet Fifi York, I remember one time, I didn't know him, so she was sick. I think I was at work. They called me, told me she was sick, and I had to come home, rush her to the emergency hall. And then I went to my Facebook. I saw a message. Please send me your number. It's up. I look at the name, Prophet Fifi York. I don't know you from anywhere. I sent him my number. He called me. Are you at the hospital? I said yes. Is your wife there? Yes. I'm coming there to come pray for her. He didn't know me from Adam. He didn't know me from anywhere. He was in his closet praying, and God had revealed. And so that's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. That's how critical it was. But by God's grace, we are here healthy, fine, and see what God is doing through the ministry.
Wow. So you lost your first job.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And not just first job.
Multiple jobs.
Multiple.
Multiple. Because that's how critical her situation is. So just imagine, no company wants.
Yeah.
No company wants that. So you go to work today, tomorrow, the next day, and then the next week. Um. Uh, oh, please, I have to leave. My wife is sick, and then sometimes I have to call on video and then show them. See, that's my wife. She's on a sick bed, and it was hard. I got to a point that I knew no company could take that. So I lost a couple of jobs through that. But by God's grace,
We're here.
God always provided.
So like you were saying how you were losing multiple jobs, how are you guys faring financially, paying your bills? And especially I'm sure you had a huge amount of medical bills.
So, it was hard. I'll say is by the grace of God, and second, I think another thing too was
When he was working, he had that savings thing, his 401k.
Oh, okay.
So that was what kind of like came through for us during that moment. Yeah. So that's how we were funding for things.
and I think as to add up to that too, we've our house is always opened. We always have people tripping in and out. We've been there for people. And mostly when you do those things and you do it genuinely, God has a way of opening doors and providing for you to when things become hard. I remember one time I was there. I had a call. I think was it after the first or second losing the first or second job, but I had a call from UK or something like that. One of my aunties, and then she said, "Nana, this and that and that and that." Okay, so I'm sending you this, and that was a huge amount. And then sometimes you'll be there and this person will call you.
I just want to be a blessing.
I just want to be a blessing. And that person will call you. I just want
You
to be a
don't
blessing.
go ask.
And then there are times too that we've even gotten there are some people that they wouldn't want their names being mentioned. Sometimes you even get a blank check. Yes, from somebody prominent. And then that but to me, I don't know whether it's an Ashanti thing or something like that. It's like I just always want to be that. I think it's a macho thing. You always I want to be that one with the money, providing, then pay my own stuff like that. But
as a man too, I think it's a man thing too.
Yes,
You want to be self-sufficient. You don't want
Thank
to
you.
seem to be like you're always asking.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So see, even though he wasn't asking, but the problem was on his side was the fact that him not being able to. So as a man, he tends to think a lot. He was going through a lot of stress.
Yeah.
During that time. So I always have to, as a woman, we make the peace. We have to create a peaceful atmosphere all the time. So I remember I find ways and means to talk him out of it, that it's going to get better. It is well. We got this.
And
We
it
keep
always
pushing.
got better.
Always
And you know
got
the
better.
funny thing too? I'll get some money. I'll probably do something and get money. Or maybe for some strange reasons we'll do ministry, we'll do work, or something will come up. And then as soon as we get the money, guess what the first thing? Ministry.
Yeah. First thing.
So sometimes it's like there's bills packed and then we're talking about we need this money for that, we need that money for that, and then I stress out a little bit and then she'll calm me down and then we'll pray and then God will make a way and then the money comes and the next thing is recording.
Yeah, to record.
This project. Oh, we heard that this person is struggling.
Sometimes
This person
I get
is sick.
mad.
And then she'll get mad sometimes that I'm doing that. But guess what? There are other times too that she won't also tell me. And she'll do the same thing. And I was like, please, we should have communicated.
No, you never communicated with me. When
Exactly. But I think our willingness to always give our time, our money, our resources to help people in need also open the avenue.
Yeah.
Just like the Bible says, give and it will come back to you in
Yeah.
good measure, pressed down, shaking
Shaking
together.
Together.
So yes, I think it was just God's word being fulfilled. So I say that to tell everybody that never stop giving. Give time, give money, give your resources. Be there for people when they need you.
Yeah.
If you see people
Especially
struggling,
people that are doing something to push the kingdom of God.
be there.
Be there. It's not easy.
Sometimes just even words of encouragement.
Be there.
Sometimes just there are times that we'll be sitting home, we're watching somebody's video on YouTube, and then we see the person, and then you take the person's number. Sometimes we'll call one or two people from Ghana and see if we can get the person's phone number and then send the money to the person. And I remember one time, just recently, she did that for a pastor, and the man was so grateful.
So grateful.
So grateful because he answered some praise for him.
Yeah.
So do that. So me, when things get hard, I normally don't stress like before because I know that we've
We've
done so
been
much.
through worse and we've done so much.
We've done so much.
So
We've done
we
so
know
much
God
that
was never
anytime
gonna.
that things get hard, trust me, God opens the God comes through. And it's just because we're constantly giving, constantly giving, constantly giving, constantly giving.
Wow. I like a lot of analogies, and whilst you're talking, there's an analogy that came to my mind. So we always pray that God should bless us, but if you pray that God should only bless you, it becomes a problem because you become a reservoir
That's
of
right.
or a pond of the blessing. And what happens to a stagnant water is it starts to stink.
It's that's the thing.
But if you become a river
The stream.
or a stream, it's fresh water all the time, and you are a vessel, and
Thank
you
you.
never run dry because it's always
Thank you.
coming
That's right.
and it's passing through. It's really, really impressive what you guys have done and what you guys have gone through and endured. And that still wasn't. It's not. It's with the pregnancy, right?
Nah, 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 nah.
Are we going there?
Let's go there.
Yeah. It was just yesterday that I was having a discussion with one of my mentees, and she asked me a question. She's like, she calls me Sister Penny. Sister Penny, how are you? How are you feeling? I said, I'm okay. As to why she asked that question at that time, that particular moment, she didn't understand why. I got emotional after she asked that question because yesterday marked exactly 1 year when I went to see the very first specialist that diagnosed throat cancer. It's a year is here.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
a year. I think a year, probably a week, a year and a week, maybe.
And so when she asked me that question, I got emotional. I said, I'm good. I am fine. I thank God. So right there, I asked her a question. I started asking her, Mindy, what if this had been permanent? What if God had not stepped in? I would have been walking around. Oh, the lady with the throat cancer. Oh, she's sick. Oh, sayare for no. But I am grateful. I am grateful to God because the narrative would have been different
Had it not been God.
had it not been God. I look back and watch my three kids and I'm like, God, there's a reason why you gave me these kids. Your word tells me that my seed will be mighty. And how does my seed becomes mighty if maybe their parents is not around? A parent is not. I know you will take care of them, but here, right here, what if a parent is absent? It's not there. I am grateful, Dennis. I was diagnosed with throat cancer, which I many people still don't believe when I talk about this miracle. And wherever I go, I have vowed to myself that I will share this testimony to the entire world that we have a God. God loves us. We serve a living God. Wherever I stand, I will testify of his goodness, of what he has done for me. I know it's not gonna, the enemy keeps trying. The enemy keeps throwing things at us
And it won't stop.
and it won't stop. But there's a saying that goes, "Omukuya dasu yenwu." We're still here. And so that's our the whole point of us living is to everything about us needs to glorify him. And if God does something for us, miraculous things for us, we should stand as children of God and testify of his goodness. I got diagnosed. Um, the first doctor told me about it. I just went in about some pains I was feeling in the throat. So my husband kept pushing me, you need to go see a doctor because this thing, you keep complaining and I don't see any improvement. Because I started trying like home remedies just so I thought it was some kind of sore throat or something. So you need to go see the doctor, forced me in. But during that period, it's so funny. I could just feel that something was wrong. I couldn't put my hands on what. And I was so scared to go to the doctors because I know how sometimes doctors can scare you with some names and things. I listened to him. I went to see the doctor, described everything to him, ran some few tests. The doctor, I was receiving a call on Saturday from the doctor, personal number, which doesn't really happen. So when I picked the call, it's like, hi, I don't want to put my, I need to see you first thing Monday morning. I was like, okay, doctor, da da da, I mentioned his name. It's like, yeah. I hope everything is okay. He said, oh yeah, we're gonna figure it out. Everything is fine. That's when I knew something was off. I didn't say anything to my husband. So he went to work on Monday. I called this lady from church to come with me to the hospital. I went and the doctor was explaining certain things to me. He's like, we run through the test, blah, 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 and this is what I'm seeing. But he doesn't want to make the final, he doesn't want to be like the final, um, that he's going to refer me to another specialist to run more tests and all of that. And he will make the final decision. I was like, okay, what are you seeing? And then he goes, um, I see what I'm seeing. It's something cancerous. And So we're gonna have to start, and how it's looking is worse. It's not like something that is beginning to. It's like it has gotten worse. So we're gonna have to quickly rush and do something. It's as though he was speaking, but he wasn't speaking. I say he wasn't clear with his words.
And it was 2 months to fire it up.
It was 2 months to fire it up.
It was 2 months to fire it up. So tickets paid, people billed, everything.
So
Just last year.
just last year,
Last year.
I was like, okay, you're telling me there's still cancer. I said yes. As I was speaking, he started prescribing medications. I steroids,
Steroids, antibiotics.
a lot of things. He called the medications in. So as I sat in the car, and I think that day I was going to H&M because during that time we were still preparing for Fired Up. So I had to
We were buying more
t-shirts
t-shirts.
to print out and stuff like that. After that news, I still went. So I remember very well that day when the lady I was with, I made her get out of the car after we got to when we got to H&M. I made her get out of the car. It's like, oh, go ahead. I'll be right back. I need to call my husband. So that was when I was coming to tell my husband that. So I actually took a picture of the results and sent it to him. So he started calling me. So I didn't pick up. I wasn't picking up. So when we packed the car and I told the lady, oh, let me make a phone call. She can start looking for the t-shirts. I'll be right back. My husband called me. I had no words. It was just tears. And then he was just silent. He was just on the phone. And he was like, you need to calm down.
So
You,
okay, you finish.
you need to calm down. We're going to get through this. It's fine. It's like, how is this possible? That's why I started getting angry. It's like, how is this possible? This cannot be. I started screaming my head off in the car. It's like, hey, 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 calm down. Just, I'm coming home right now. That's him. It's like, I'm coming home right now. And I remember getting off the phone. I was like, God, again. Because this man he's leaving his job again to come home. I know you never promised a smooth journey, but this is beyond me. Mind you, this was gonna be, it was the fourth or third or fourth time losing a job because the minute he walks out, he's like, I'm coming home now. That's it. I was like, no, babe, it's fine. I'm fine. So quickly I had to switch into being in a good mood. I was like, oh no, I'm even at H&M. I'm about to get some t-shirts and stuff. So I'll be good. Just do what you gotta do. We'll talk when you get home. Fast forward. He's the type that he doesn't show emotions. Ashanti man, you won't get him. But he was worried. He was so worried. So he was the one that was like, okay, if the doctor is recommending us seeing another specialist and all of that, let's do that because he's still not making this like an official thing. So let's go ahead and go take the other test, blah, blah, blah. We did that. And it was the same results. And I think it was the third one
Yeah, third one.
that this doctor, this specialist, he went in depth, like he did extra things, and which my husband will send the photos for you to see. So it was him, run so many tests. The day we had to come for the results, I went with my husband. He didn't go to work. So we both went. Mind you, during that time, that period, from seeing many doctors and all of that, the the news stayed between myself, my husband, brother-in-law, and sister-in-law.
And
Just family.
I think
And
one
then,
person that we're praying with too.
yeah,
And then my cousin in Ghana.
and then yes, his cousin in Ghana. During that period too, I had booked an appointment to go. Like I wanted to talk to my bishop, but I went. I met him. I didn't even book the appointment. I think I saw him and I wanted to say something to him, but I couldn't. And all that was coming was just tears. So he looked at me and he was like, Nana, Bibia be you okay? Well, out of nowhere, it's like, Nana, Bibia be you okay? And that's Bishop. He'll just look at you and like, Bibia be you okay? I just left it as it is. I didn't mention a word to him. So the day of when we went to get the results, the doctor walked in. And then my husband was sitting there. I was sitting there. It's like, okay, what's the result? It's like, well, um, everything looks good.
Wow.
So I was getting ahead of myself. During that period, Dennis, lots of fasting, tongues of prayers, fasting prayers. Me personally, when you see me, you see crying, tears. Like I was just crying every day. I had no words. So the few words that I had during that time, whenever I go on my knees, was for your name's sake. And that's what I shared during my testimony, my concert. And I explained why that it made sense to me later on when this miracle happened. That for your name's sake, which means God's reputation. So to me, a part of me was so angry at God and at myself. And it was a lot of things going on. And it's very, very normal, a very normal response to when such things happen to us as human beings. We get angry at God. We're like, what again? I'm throwing in the towel. I can't do it again. I said, for your name's sake. So if you're going to watch me, if you're going to watch this voice that is healing people outside, it's touching lives out there, or drawing people into your kingdom, I'm making impact, I'm doing this. If you're going to watch the same voice go down like this, then people are going to start doubting you. And these were, so I was just saying things. God, why? And it was just tears, 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 tears. I remember the reason why I was so firm on the fact that God, you never said this. God, you never said this about my life. This wasn't part of the plan. This was me like constantly during that time. This wasn't part of the plan. I've walked with you. I'm gonna keep walking with you, but this is not, you never said this, you never said A, B, C, and D. How can you use the same voice that is being what's the word? This voice that is healing people out there, because and I say these things because I've had people come to me sharing their testimonies with me through my music, through what I put out there. And so if you're gonna watch me go down like this, then they're gonna start doubting you. Then Namibia cranial. Now the God she keeps singing about, why couldn't that God come through for her? Fast forward. That day at the doctor's office, when he came out, he's like, I am not seeing anything. Everything looks good. And I'm not sure what the other doctors are saying or they're seeing, but there's nothing.
Wow. Wow.
There's nothing. There's no throat cancer, nothing. I was like, can you repeat what you're saying? It's like there's nothing.
I think the only thing he said was just a little bit
It
flames.
was slurs.
Just a little bit
Now it
flames.
went from something that looks cancerous to flames.
Wow.
And so the medication, he even
Just selling drops.
yeah, some drops just to clear the thing. And after using that thing 2 or 3 days, I was good.
Wow. So let me chip in here a little bit. So every year during Fire Up, we at least between us we do at least a month fasting.
So those who don't know what fired up is, can you explain?
Okay, so Fired Up is a concert,
Our annual
our
concert.
annual concert we do every year at All Nations Atlanta. We're thinking of taking it to the rest of the world. We are praying for help and for support, so we take it to the rest of the world. But it's our personal offering to God
Yeah.
to say thank you for all the things that you have done. And it's non-ticketed. And the reason why it's non-ticketed is that growing up, not having money, were denied of certain places that worship was going on just because we didn't have money. Now we want to open it, bring some of the best worshipers. Fired Up is not about bringing a star. It's never been about a particular person. Even it's not even about her.
No.
It's not about me. It's about bringing worshipers together, and then this person bringing their light, their fire, this person bringing their fire, this person bringing their worship, that person bringing their worship, and then all of us coming together under one roof, worshiping God.
It's
Worshiping God. That's all the Fired Up is about. Undiluted worship.
yes.
Nothing about fame. Nothing about projecting somebody or projecting somebody's ministry. It's never been about that. It's just about pure worship every year. So every year before it happens, since it's a thing to glorify God, definitely the expectation is that the devil will also try to strike. So for her to be good, for us to be on a good grounds, what we do every year is we fast at least a month before between me and her, and then my brother and my brother too, my little brother, and then we have the team. Some of the team we have a prayer group that they also join us in the fast. Sometime I think last year it wasn't a month, right? Nah, last year wasn't a month. For them, it wasn't a month, but
No,
for us,
no.
it was a month. So during that time, all the time that she was dealing with this, the doctor, the in, and we were praying. So there was only one person, I think David Budo, that I spoke to. He was the only person that knew about it that I spoke to. And then and once
Outside the family.
outside the family, she was the only person that I didn't even talk to my father about it. Um, she was the he was the only one that we spoke to. And one thing that she forgot to bring to raise was I think before the whole thing, the reason why I even forced her to go to the hospital was I had gotten a call from my brother. I was at work, my little brother, my cousin in Ghana. He's a pastor. Assemblies of God Church. He said, "Bruh, how is Joseph mommy doing?" That's why he calls her. I said, "She's fine." I said, "Bruh, I don't think she's fine. I was praying and I saw certain things about her and I didn't like it." I said, "What?" He said, "I think she has cancer." That's what the Lord is telling me. And the way this thing looks, right? If you don't pray, we will lose her. So I had to find a way of telling her that and probably take some of the messages out. And me, I knew that she had been complaining about her throat because sometimes she'll be ministering and she'll do that. She'll do that. So she'll hold her neck. So for those that don't know, might think maybe probably a stage pain or something like that, but they didn't know she was going through pain. So sometimes even with her screaming, singing, she does that just so that at least you rub it a little bit while she's on stage. People didn't know. These people didn't notice. So after he said that, I asked him what can be done. He said only God. I said okay. So when she went to the hospital and the doctors confirmed that, I was surprised but not too surprised because let me say God has spoken. Um, so it took prayers. We prayed a lot of prayers. Because one of the things that we've learned and one of the things that our spiritual head has also taught us is not to always run to your pastor for every little thing. That God, the same God that listens to him, is the same God that listens to you. So no matter what you face, go to God in prayer. And once you pray, have the faith
That is done.
and believe that whatever that you've prayed for is done. So it was a lot of prayers. And then I think there was one thing that we did too. After one night of prayer, uh, for some reason we felt like we should give an offering.
Yeah.
We felt like we should give an offering. So we sent the money and we prayed over the offering. And then it was after that she went to a last appointment. It was after that she went to a last appointment. And then what God did. Before that, to fired up, we normally come up with the theme the beginning of the year by January, February. So we're praying and then thinking about it, and she said, I feel like this year should be for his namesake. And I was like, for his namesake? Why? She said, I don't know why, this is why I feel.
Yeah.
So the
So
theme for last year was for his namesake.
yeah.
And then less than 2 months before that, you get this news. See, sometimes as Christians, we ask for certain things that we're not ready for.
Yeah.
We pray for certain things that we're not ready for. Right? Because sometimes we ask God for growth. And then what you forget is he will bring you problems that will grow you.
Yeah.
Sometimes we ask God for elevation. And what we forget is he's not going to bring some staircase in front of you just for you to walk on it. That's not what he's going to bring. He will bring you a situation, some trouble, some trial. And then once you are able to go through that, that's when the elevation will come. So the theme was for his namesake. We did not know that he had a trick under his sleeve. We did not know. But last year, that's what stood out. Because to me, I didn't even know that she was going to share that on stage. I did not. No. I didn't know. I didn't know because I wanted it to be really coded. I didn't know anything about it.
None of them.
Nobody knew about it.
It was that week of Fired Up. I think the Monday or Tuesday when Media was in town, I was like, I want you to drive me to the hospital to get a
letter
copy of the test results again. I didn't even tell her about what I was going to do. All I said was, I need to go to this office to grab something. And coming out of there, I was holding a letter, and nobody should open
I didn't know,
it.
and I didn't know. I didn't even know anything
just-
about her going to the hospital, back to the hospital to go get it. I didn't know anything about it. I saw it on stage.
I was like, but that though, I was contemplating whether to do it or not. And I was holding back. But you know how I'm not sure why I'm asking you, but there's a place you get to during worship. And it's a different realm. And the atmosphere and everything that is going on just calls in for a testimony. Like, you need to touch somebody. The Bible says, and they overcame by the exactly. So I was like, I'm not a talker. Me, you will never find me talking. I'm trying now. All you find me doing is singing. So for me to do what I did on stage that day,
Sharing that testimony.
Dennis, I say it on your platform today. I don't know what came over me. I know it's the Holy Spirit that did this thing. Because it's so not me. It was just the Holy Spirit doing this thing. So yeah, we are here by the grace of God. There is no throat cancer. Nanajua is perfectly fine. And I repeat, she's perfectly fine, because I get people meet me and they're like, how are you? And then it's like they want to give us make a funny comment. I'm like, I'm fine. And it's like, are you really sure you're good? So, you see, we doubt God. And that's why God never comes through for us most of the time. How do you go to your father you claim you believe to do something for you, yet
You're in doubt.
you doubt?
Wow.
Yeah. And I think another thing too, that I think she'll be in the best place to talk about it, that there's through that a lot of testimonies have been
Yes,
birthed.
a
Oh,
lot.
oh
I
man.
went to London recently and my God, a mind blowing testimony. The lady drove
2 hours.
almost 2 hours,
Came to the program
came
early.
to the program early because on the flyers it said 5 p.m. So she got there at 4.
Program didn't start till 7:30.
Program this and she
she
was fine.
waited.
She waited. And she made sure she meets the pastor to tell the pastor that I came because of Nana Adwoa and I would love to meet her before, no matter what. Please make a room for me to meet this woman
And shared her testimony too with the pastor.
before and shared her testimony too with the pastor before. And so the pastor had to announce it after my ministration. It's like, Nanaja, please don't leave. There's a lady here that drove about 2 hours just to come see you, to share something with you, her testimony, all of that. It's like, okay. And as the lady was sharing her testimony, then I said,
This
there's
is
a
God.
God though. Just like Nana, it's your voice I hear all the time. I listen to your music all the time. And the day you shared your testimony about your throat cancer and all of that, you said she just broke down into tears and started praying. It's just like, God, as you've done it for this lady, do it for me too.
What was she going through?
Cancer.
Oh,
And she was also healed.
wow.
She's completely
Healed.
she has the official, she promised to be a fired up encounter this year, just to show us the official letter.
Wow. Wow.
She said she sold a seed through PayPal, and she's not sure if I saw it or not. But based on that testimony, Dennis, a lot of I was in Ghana and I was receiving lots of seeds here and there of God bless you for sharing this. I tap into this. I tap into your testimony. I know as God has done it for you, I'm believing God to do the same for me. I was like, God, do your thing.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think with I think it comes back to this. We talk of ministry right now, and the first thing people talk about is how to get following, how to get the popularity,
Yeah.
how to make money. All those things are good, but ministry goes beyond that. And the most important thing is how is God glorified through you.
Mm.
One of the things that for me I know we do more on the side is we talk, we share ideas, we pray, we read the Bible, and then we are accountable also to each other. We have to make sure that whatever we're doing, God's name alone is what is glorified.
Nothing else.
Nothing else, nobody else. So there are no tricks, there are no gimmicks for social media attention, nothing. Um we want to make sure that everything that we do encourages somebody. We want to make sure that everything that we do, everything that we put out there blesses somebody. Our focus is on that. So if you are into ministry and you focus more on glorifying God, trust me, God will glorify himself through you and through what you're doing. But once the focus becomes you, he will step on the side and watch you do your own thing. Because the truth is, for us men, we have no power. We have no power. We have nothing. We cannot do anything. Even for doctors, they are just medical practitioners. They practice and see. Hopefully, they're able to help you get better through your sickness. That's why they'll try this medicine. If it doesn't work, they'll try that. God is the only one that can fully heal you. So to us, we've understood the assignment of He is the master. He's the creator. We are the creation. We are just vessels. And the only thing that we can do is to make sure that we don't stand in his way. We stand behind and allow him to
Lead.
allow him to lead, allow him to do whatever he wants to do, and it brings glory to him.
That's what matters.
And that's one of the reasons why we keep going every time. I think I remember I said something earlier about sometimes you struggle and then you get something. The first thing that comes into our mind is ministry, ministry, ministry. We're talking about fired up budget for this year, and it's like, man, it doesn't look possible. But things have started falling in place, and we know that definitely fired up will come on, and everything will be better. And the reason why it happens like that, and the reason why it happens like that is that I believe the devil knows the impact that it makes. The devil know what comes after that, how people are blessed and other stuff. So definitely he will try. That is work. Let him try. But God also know how much it glorifies him. God also know how much it blesses his people. So to him alone, to him too, he will always make sure he makes way. If I tell you the number of volunteers, last year we had people drive from Chicago, from all over the states, just to get to Fired Up. I think there was a family that couldn't catch their flight. They missed their flight. So they drove.
They drove.
Hey,
They drove for 14, I think 16 hours or so.
Yeah.
Just to come for Fired Up. And you think there are now worship programs going on? So
This
to-
is not just it's not one of those worship events or
and this
gatherings.
year we have a lot of people that bought their ticket from
You
Ghana,
know,
from Europe.
there's something special or something. There's a move. There's something God is doing through us, through
and many people out there too that are availing themselves.
that are availing themselves. And Fired Up Encounter, it's people question us, why is it free
Every year.
I
every
was about
year?
to ask.
Yeah. People question us, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't have a ticketed event or whatnot. No, but this one is personal. It's our sacrifice
To God.
to God. So we can't put a charge on it, and also we want to give the jobless young guy or the jobless young sister that, you know, the ability to be able to walk freely into the house of God and worship. That's all.
Just come as you
Come
are.
as you are.
Come worship. Just find a ride to the place. To us, even though we say it's free, but to us it's not free because we still have to buy gas right to get there.
To get there.
Together. So to us it's not about people paying.
What's the date for this year's Fired Up?
September 14th.
Yeah.
September 14th.
So viewers, make sure you are there. What's the address?
781
Athens
Athens
Highway.
Loganville, Georgia. I think zip code is what?
3007.
552.
One of them.
One
But
of them.
it's
I'll put the information.
All right,
Okay.
all right.
yeah.
But
And the time is 4 p.m.
4 p.m. And what we're saying is not just to market the program, but I want to also if you go to a church, right? One of the things that has helped it is service, in the house of God, serving. We serve. Trust me, we serve. Wherever you find yourself, whatever church that you go to, serve.
Find a department.
Find a department and serve.
and serve.
Find a department and serve. Serve. And serve from your heart.
Yeah.
Don't wait for a compliment from your pastor, from your leader. No. Don't do it for a compliment from anybody.
Don't do
Serve.
it for the cameras and
Don't do it for the cameras too, because we have people that will only serve when senior pastor is there, when the camera is rolling.
the
That
lights
is when
and things.
exactly social media age, just to get content. Nah. Serve. Even when nobody is watching. That's even when you serve more. Serve. And then live right. Bible says that it's only sin that separates us from God. Live right. Try. It's hard. Especially now that you step outside and it's like free show pornography out everywhere. People
Yeah.
walking almost naked and stuff. It's hard. But try. Try no matter what. Just try.
Yeah.
Do the right thing. Live right. And be good. Be good to yourself. Be good to others too. When the opportunity comes, bless people. You see someone struggling and you have the means, help them. Encourage people doing things for God. Encourage people doing things. Encourage them. Be there. You see people Ask them, how do you doing? And please don't just ask them. Wait for a response. And if it's a hug that they need, just give them. If it's food and you have the money, just give them. We do that all the time. And all those things coming together, it helps. It helps build the kingdom. It helps build the kingdom. So that's my little advice.
It was something I experienced during our first fired up encounter. And I told my husband, Papa, I so don't want this. Dennis, I now understand why this whole celebrity status, this fame, I'm famous, it gets into the heads of people. Because the day of Fired Up, the people, my husband, my brother-in-law, they all want to make sure you are good. We be cock bro. We be say you're making sure say you're okay before you go on stage and all. They are prepping you and
Everybody
attending to you. So I remember my brother-in-law walking me into the sanctuary when it was my time to minister. As he was walking me into the sanctuary, all those gestures, it makes you feel like you're on top.
Yeah, if you don't take care of it,
It'll make you feel like
you're untouchable.
You're untouchable. So as I was walking up the stage, I felt this, like, I'm fearless, I'm powerful, royalty, this, nobody matters. But see, that's when, if you don't take care, you will channel the glory to you and not to God.
Yeah.
The gifts God has given to you, all right, use it. He will give you all that it's needed to walk into whatever you need to walk into. But you have to use a lot of wisdom. Go to God and ask God to always remind you of where he picked you from. Mm-hmm. If not, I felt so powerful. And after I got off the stage and we came home, I told my husband, Papa, hey, I don't like this feeling. No, it's a good feeling. But don't get me wrong. I now understand why it's easy for people to deviate quickly. Because the attention, what's that?
The applause.
The applause, all those things.
If you don't take care, we'll get.
Take care. And as a married woman, I'm always careful not to bring that thing home. Because I step out there and everybody is doing me nanajwa, and you come home and you come and meet your husband. You come and meet your husband telling you,
even the kids, especially your daughter,
cook this, I want this, I don't want to eat food that and you have to come home, you need to
be a wife.
To all the young folks out there, the ones coming, you are now in a relationship, you're about to get married and all of that. I don't know where you find yourself, the position, your profession or whatever, but please, just like the Bible tells us, a woman needs to submit. Me, I'm all about what the book tells me because that's my guide. Don't you ever think, sir, the fact that I'm bringing all the money to the table, you've taken
the man's glory,
the man's position. The man is the man. Period.
No matter what level, yeah.
No matter what no matter where you find yourself, the figures you're making, the fame you're getting out there, the attention you're getting out there, you need to come back home and
Right.
submit.
Still be a wife.
Still be a wife, still be a mother. All that applause and whatever, it happens outside. When you come home, come do your duties as a wife, as a mother.
And I think.
And
sorry.
I'm putting this out there because I see the divorce rate in our society now, and it's ugly, especially within the. Oh. Go ahead.
And with that said, I think I probably also have to also chip in this because being a man too, and I think I also see sometimes some men also try to take advantage of that.
That's true.
I make the most money. I do this. I do that. One of the things is the fact that you're making the most money doesn't make your wife a slave. Once you see your wife gifted with something, there's nothing wrong. There's no shame in pushing her. I know we live in a society where it makes it hard for people to support their wives.
Yeah.
And there are also sometimes some women, let me just say a few, that also make it very hard for maybe their husbands to support them and push them out there. Because sometimes you push them, somebody push them and it gets into their head, and then all of a sudden they are bigger than you, they are stronger than you, and then all of a sudden whatever you say doesn't matter anymore. Just like she said, to me, people ask me, why are you doing this for your wife? Why are you doing it? Because it's my duty as a husband. If I don't do it, who else should do it? And I would do it and still be confident as a man. It doesn't affect me being a man, not even a little bit. It does. I don't lose anything from helping my wife get there. She goes to photo shoots and other stuff. I help her get ready. I clean her shoes for her. I do everything. And she doesn't also take advantage of that. I'm still respected as the husband. I'm still treated well as the husband. She still doesn't. We don't go out there and then all of it. Sometimes we go out there and then camera. And then I want to take a picture, but she has a more nice and respectful way of letting you know that I came with my husband or I came with family, and then have a way of at least still showing the love and respect, because it gets into people's head and then all of a sudden they start bringing tension home. So sometimes you see men that don't want to do anything for their wives. You see men that try to intimidate, and others too that they're just not confident enough. I don't know why. And then to them, they don't want their wives to do anything to them. Nah. I don't care how good you are in music, you're not singing. I don't care how anointed you are not doing this. I think we should all work on that.
Naturally, women don't do well with power. Some women don't do well with power. And so I feel like it's just right for you as a woman to be intentional about your ways, the way you move. Going out there, let's say you step out with your husband, and in my situation, I'm the famous one out there. So they tend to pay attention to me more, as in maybe even bringing me water and my food or whatever. And if
you don't take care,
yeah. And me as a wife, quickly, I get up, and the first thing I do is to serve my husband before I even sit and eat. And that's something women need to take. Women in, as in ministry and wherever you find yourself, pay attention to all those little things and respect the man as a man.
Yeah, respect your wife too. She's a partner in it. She's a partner. She's not a slave. She's not a doormat. Respect her. Respect her opinions. And let her feel like the queen that she is. Trust me, it'll give you the peace of mind that you need. Once you treat her well, she'll reciprocate that. She also treats you well. Treat her right. Maybe once in a blue moon, some might not. But to me, I don't care how you treat me. My responsibility as a man is to treat you right. And I don't care whether you treat me right or not, I'll still treat you right. And in my case, thank God, I have a good wife. So I don't have to worry about her treating me not right or anything. But I think marriage is about teamwork. She elevates, I elevate. I elevate, she elevates. Growth. Once growth comes, it affects us both. So If she's doing something that is productive, that's helpful, that glorifies God, I have to stand behind her. I have to help her. I have to give her my shoulder just so she stands tall in it. And I think that's what marriage and life is about. That's also what ministry is about.
Wow. Wow. That's very powerful. Another area I wanted us to talk about
Okay.
before we go. I know we've talked about a lot of things.
Okay.
Is you edit your own videos,
That part.
including your music videos.
Yes, yes.
So how did that come about?
Okay, so it all started when this whole panic attack thing, when I came home, couldn't do much and all. When we started doing these covers, I realized, okay, the thing was picking up. So how am I putting the videos out there? At least I need to make it retouch it a little bit, make it look nice a little bit. So I couldn't really find anybody to help me do that. So in my own ways, I went on Google and started Googling all these the platforms that I could use, or video, whatever I could use to edit good videos. At first, I started using iMovie, and then I transitioned to Filmora or something.
Filmora.
Yeah. And then right from Filmora, I started hearing people talking about Adobe is like the top notch, da 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 da. I was like, I'm not even gonna go there because I can't do it. At one time, I just found myself subscribing to it, and I jumped on it. It was I didn't struggle. I started, doing some few things, color grading, doing that. It's like, oh, this is fun. So I go into that studio and I don't get out till like the next morning.
Sometimes.
So I've been editing some of my music, my own official music videos myself. I have Wed It out there. I edit those myself as well. And what else? And yeah, so
She's
most of the covers you see, no, all of them,
yeah, she edits a
I
cover.
edit my.
It's just the music video that
Some of the official music videos is only two of them that I edited myself. Yeah, and no, three actually: Ella Leon, Sade, and a part of I'm Blessed. Yeah.
wow. Yeah, so she's naturally handy. So you come to the house, right? I do the paying. Okay, I think we need to fix this. Let me pay for it. To her, we're not wasting money.
Yeah.
So by the time I get home, she will fix it.
I'll take out the whole
Sure.
cabinet.
She will take. So she changed the lights, and I'm not talking about just the bulb. I'm talking about the entire fixture. She will change all the lights. She can paint the entire house. There was one time that I think our car had an issue. I called the mechanic and it was going to cost us a couple of hundreds. By the time I came home, went upstairs, took a shower, came downstairs. I heard some noise in the garage. Went to the garage, and then she had taken the parts out, fixing the car, and she was able to fix it.
Wow.
Yeah, she was actually able to fix it. What else? She one time I think was it a washing machine broke down. She took the whole thing apart, fixed it.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's naturally like that. And another thing on the flip side too, people like that are very handy also understand that they're going to mess up a lot of things. So it works both ways. Just that
It gets worse before it gets better.
it gets worse before it gets better. So to me, I'm just blessed to have her. Yeah, I'm just blessed to have her. She makes it easy. And she saves us a lot of money too. She saves us a lot of money, just that we have to use it later on to shop for her. Because women like that are not cheap too.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
This has been an amazing podcast. Like
Yeah.
the story from the ups and the downs, and a lot of downs and downs, more downs.
Yes.
Exactly.
Difficult. And many a times when we go into marriage, when we're dating, we're in the la la land.
Yes.
So we go into marriage thinking, oh, this is gonna be all
Yeah. Smooth sail.
Like the movies, Happily Ever After.
Happily ever after.
You get married and then nothing else would happen. We only think that our partner is gonna fall sick or one day I getting older in the 50s, 60s, but we don't think that things are gonna get hard. And for your case, it was right after the wedding.
Right after.
Too bad. And then many people, I think what I've gathered from everything that we've talked about is like when you are going into marriage, don't look at just looks because looks
Thank
will
you.
fade away very
It'll fade away.
That's right.
because if you had looked at the looks when she got pregnant with all the rashes and everything that was going on,
Hair falling out.
hair falling out. If you marry someone because of the hair would fall.
Fall.
If, because of the skin, the rashes
Thank you.
will come. If because of the boobs, the butt,
Jelly.
they will eventually lose all those things. But if you fall in love with the inside of a person,
That's right.
the inner beauty, that will never fade away.
Don't ever fade away.
And I also think that many of us these days, especially our young people, we focus so much on the outside beauty. Like we work so much on learning how to do makeup,
Yeah.
2-hour makeup. We spend money on learning how to do these makeup, put on these fancy clothes and stuff. But how's our heart?
Thank you.
Because with these days, anybody can look beautiful, no matter how ugly you think someone is.
Exactly.
Let them get
Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, right? Yep.
can flip. It could be like a different person also.
That's true.
But then you can switch that. But how about the inner beauty?
That's right.
That you cannot just buy in the store.
That's true.
That you can't just put makeup on your heart. But if we are very conscious on working on who we are on the inside, it's really, really important. And also one thing I've got it is marriage is a lifelong journey. And if you don't marry the right person,
The right person.
I keep saying marriage is one of the most important decisions you ever make, except for the decision of you giving your life to Christ.
Yeah.
They say the person you spend, your friends determine how far you go in life. And the person that you spend more time with is your wife or your husband. Your spouse is the person that you are with the person all the time. You go to work, you come back, and how far you go in life, depends on the type of person you marry. Even whether you go to heaven or hell, I kind of feel like it, because if you can marry somebody and you are a godly person, but that person will turn you
Into adulthood sometimes.
into something else, and you'd be like, you see some people and it's like day and night. It's like, what happened to this person?
Exactly.
And some people, I know people who were really beautiful, but when they got married, I'm like, what happened to this person? It's like, you can tell from even the look that they are going through so much, but you can go through so much in life, but if you're with the right partner, you don't look like what you've gone through.
Exactly.
And then that's what I see with you guys. When you look at Nana Jo's page, you won't even think that you think like this lady's she's living a soft life.
Exactly. After migraine, go to the studio, go record, and then record and put on the video, and you see that and you think she's not going through, but you don't know that probably an hour before she was probably down with blankets all over her head, mainly crying. That's because she was going through migraine. But it's like you're saying.
Yeah. And another thing too I would like to add on is the enemy attacks you based on your potential, the magnitude of your potential. If you are getting back-to-back attacks, know that the enemy is not a fool. He won't go chase somebody who is already in sin. He won't go chase somebody who has no potential.
Yep.
But if the enemy knows that you have great potential, he will come back to back attacking you. Just like David. David was being David was anointed when he was a teenager, but the attack that he got up many years, for years until he became a king, was tremendous. Every person who did anything great in the Bible didn't just do it; they went through great pain.
Yeah, they had their fair share of pain.
And I believe that in this day and age, we are becoming soft Christians, and we are becoming motivational speakers. We really preached about, oh, come to Jesus and your life will be all rainbows and sunshine. But we never talk about the fact that it's going to be painful.
We
Yeah.
never talks about the process.
The process is hard.
Yeah.
The process that we go through is really hard. But we that hold on to our faith and trust in God, that in God, in everything that we go through, like you guys have held on to your faith, I think God will always come through.
Amen.
And thank you so much for sharing your story. And I know that thousands of people are going to be blessed with your story, and they are also going to have their healing, and they're also going to have their testimony. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Is there any last word you guys want to share with the viewers?
I'll tell you about fired up.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Before I get into Fired Up, thank you, Dennis, for having us. This is a great platform, and I encourage everybody to follow this man. He's doing amazing. You've created this. This is your own way of winning souls too, you know? Yeah. And God bless you for that. Thanks for having us to be able to share our story. And I'd like to say thank you to my husband,
Yes.
because this man doesn't do well with the camera. But today he's done amazing, and thank you. It has really helped, because let for me alone, I would have shared a part of the story, but he goes deeper. And I like to invite you all to our annual worship night, worship experience concert called the Fired Up Encounter, and it's on September 14th, 2024 at All Nations Caris House, 781 Athens Highway, Loganville, Georgia. Please, this is a non-ticketed event. It is absolutely free. So invite a friend to invite a friend to invite a friend, and let's come together and glorify God together. Follow me on all my social media platforms. On Instagram is official Nana Adwoa. On Facebook is Nana Adwoa, and on YouTube is official Nana Adwoa. We love you all. My husband here, Nana Nimo, Honorable Nana Nimo, and it's your girl, Nana Adwoa. Thanks, Dennis, for having us. God bless you.
Thank you.
She said it all. No. It's good. She said it all. And thank you for having us. I don't do well with cameras. I think we had a lengthy talk last night, right? And I told him I cannot.
You told him?
Oh no! I think we were on phone for over 30 minutes.
Yeah, we have
For talking about it, so I was like, you know what? Let me come. Let's give it a shot. And if it works, because I don't want to mess up your production.
He makes it easy. He makes
Thank
it
you.
comfortable.
Thank you.
Very comfortable atmosphere. So I think that's why he was able to, because sometimes some places it's very tense.
It's very tense, and I don't like that. I'm very careful with words, because you say something and the next thing is all over the place. But thank you for having us. Thank you for the amazing work that you're doing for the kingdom. Like you said, you're winning souls, touching lives. To me, I believe, and I know that testimony wins more souls, even than preaching.
Yeah.
So anytime there's an opportunity for somebody to share their testimony, I'd rather listen to that. I'd rather follow that, because to me, I know that is what makes the difference. Thank you for all that you're doing for God. Thank you for how you love your wife and children. I was with them when they came to church. I think I walked them to the car, and I observed a lot, and I saw how he treated how he was treating his wife, and to me that's very honorable. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless your wife too for making it easy. But then
Easy for you.
yeah,
Oh, these. I'm
some women too. If you're sitting here by this time, you probably receive 10 phone calls.
Oh yeah.
Look at
the kids.
I know, or compound for or something. But God bless you. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Viewers, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. See you next week. Bye bye.